Y'all, is it bad to say that this Monday working from home is rough? Like, I don't know why it's so rough today. It's rough this morning. But it's going to be a good day, right? So let's get right into the quote of the day. If my mouse will work. The quote of the day. The fearless quote of the day. One of the most courageous decisions you'll ever make is to finally let go of what's hurting your heart and soul. And that's by Bridget Nicole. I love that quote. One of the most courageous decisions you'll ever make is to finally let go of what's hurting your heart and soul. And that's by Bridget Nicole. That is so very true. One of the hardest things you will ever do is to let go of things that are hurting your heart and your soul. It ain't hard. It takes courage to finally let it go. And that's what we have to do. So on this wonderful Monday morning, let's get started with the fearless thought of the day. Where am I sticking up though? The fearless thought of the day, y'all, is listen. Put on, as a friend of mine told me one time, your listening ears are not on. I was like, what? He said, you're not listening because your listening ears are not on. So you got to truly turn on your listening ears. So that's our fearless thought for the day. To truly listen is to perfect one's virtue. So you've got to practice listening. A lot of us, we hear things, but we don't hear them. Like it's not coming in. So on the fearless thought of the day, we've got to listen. Good morning, my friend. How you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, if I could sing, I sing all the time. And every singer I know says, no, you wouldn't. And Miss Lake Moore is a singer. Good morning, Leah. How you doing? I am not a singer and I sing all the time. So it's a good thing I can't. So let's go. Fearless quote of the day. One of the most courageous decisions you ever make is to finally let go of what's hurting your heart and your soul. And that's by Bridget Nicole. And the fearless thought of the day is, are you listening? Turn on your listening ears. Like, listen. What's that song in that movie where she sings? I can't remember her name. But she sings, listen. I don't even know if that's the song. Anyway, y'all go with me. So, to listen to yourself. Good morning, Sandra. To truly listen is to perfect one's own virtue. So, we are information hoarders. We love to receive information. We love to get information. But we don't always listen to what we get. Just like if you are a God's girl, you read the word. You may hear the word, but it is the application of the thing that makes the difference, right? I may have a master's degree, I may have a PhD, but it's the application of the thing that makes a difference. And so with listening, you can hear it, but it is the application of hearing that makes the difference. So when we are on this journey, right, and we're doing all the things that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, the most important one is to listen. The healing words that you need to hear. Oh, let me see, y'all. All right. I had to fix them. I had to fix you guys. I forgot you was on Wi-Fi. The healing words that you need to hear are close. Like the thing that you're seeking to hear right now, the most, like, JoJo, I need a word. It's very close. You've got to listen for it. Remember the 5 steps to live past crazy. Number 1 is to get past the noise of life. And under that, there's 2 other steps. So you can't hear the answer because you have the noise of life. So let me ask you this question. If the healing words are there, can you hear them? Do you seek them out? And do you respect the healing words that you need once you get them? Can you hear them? Are you seeking them out? And do you respect them once you receive them? Are you listening? So we're all searching for healing words, healing things, healing actions, right? But do you hear them? Are you seeking them out? And are you respecting them? And that seeking them out and hearing them, that comes, all those three things come back taking responsibility of it, right? We're always going to go back to that, taking responsibility of it. You can hear, I can tell you all the good things in the world, but are you going to apply the thing? Are you really listening? Or are you so caught up on your story of the thing that you can't possibly think that the answer, and here's the thing, some people can't fathom that the answer that they're seeking is truly that simple. And no, Jojo, it cannot be that simple. It's got to be harder than that. Like you don't understand. It's complicated. So you assume your answer has to be complicated. And because the answer doesn't come the way you want it, you dismiss it. But does it make it less true? No, it doesn't. But are you listening? Your healing words, the things that you need, are very close. Do you hear them? Do you seek them out? And do you respect them? Are you respecting the information that you're receiving? If somebody went out of their way, and if you were open enough to ask them a question, and they gave you the answer, and it felt good to you, like you knew that that was the answer, did you respect the fact that they gave you the information that you were seeking? Or were you truly not listening because the information didn't come the way you wanted it to come? Or you couldn't receive it the right way because you were listening to other things? So let's look at our environment. If the answer is very close, can we hear what other people are saying? Or is the noise of our environment keeping us distracted from hearing the answer? Are we truly listening for it? See, listening takes time to hear and for it to penetrate into you. So it takes time to listen. And then once you hear it, you've got to allow it time to work inside of you. Some of us are busy. Like, I ain't got time for that, Jojo. I need to hear a word, get a word, move. Yeah, but sometimes you need to respect how it's coming. Respect the words, and you need to be able to listen to it so that you can hear it with something other than your eyes. You need to be able to hear with something other than your eyes. That is faith. Oh, that's good. Somebody write that down. I like that. You need to be able to hear with something other than your eyes. That is faith. Is that not true? Is that not true? You got to be able to hear something other than with your eyes. Is that not faith? Y'all, is that not faith? Like, for real? Is that not the scripture right there? Come on, somebody. You need to be able to hear with something other than your eyes. Because the scripture, come on, my Bible people, that says the substance of faith is what? Is that not hearing with something other than your eyes? And that, my friend, is why we can stay in crazy. That is why we can stay in relationships that don't serve us. That is why we can have toxic friendships and relationships and not want to heal them, because we are hearing with our eyes and not with our faith. Because that is true faith. Because what I knew was, my crazy was crazy. But what I heard, because I'm respecting the words, right? I'm hearing them, I sought them out, and I'm respecting the words that came to me. And in order to listen, you've got to take time to hear. And then when you hear, you've got to allow time for the words to penetrate into you for the understanding of the thing. Thank you, Miss Leah. Once you listen and then you hear it, you got to allow time for it to penetrate into you. So now that you can comprehend the thing that you just heard. That's how that's how you can go to church and somebody can say, oh, you can say, oh, church is good today. Yeah. What the preacher talk about? I don't know. You was listening with your eyes and not your ears. You don't know nothing. That's how your kids go to school and can't tell you what they learn. Just because you hear wisdom doesn't mean that you are instantaneously transformed. Just because you heard wisdom doesn't mean that you are instantaneously transformed. Okay? Just because you heard wisdom doesn't mean you are instantaneously transformed. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It takes a person, let me read this. It takes a person of strength to want words of strength. It takes a person of learning to discern words of learning. So we've got to be able, you need to be able to hear with something other than your eyes. And that is what true faith is. And so with listening today, if we're going to listen, we're activating that part of our faith with listening with our ears, right? And asking these questions. Do you hear the words of healing that you are seeking? Are you seeking them out? And do you respect them once you get them? That's why some people will never change. That's why you can watch every preacher in the entire world. Okay? You can read every Bible, every self-help book. You can read everything up here. You can speak to the most profound leaders. You can do all the things. But if you haven't allowed it to come into you and become part of your being and your knowing, because it takes strength to want to learn something, to want to be able to understand the thing, because now we know it's a journey. That's why you can have people who know things but don't exercise things. Right? That's how you can know alcohol is bad for you, but yet drink it every day. That's how you can take drugs and know they're bad for you, but do them every day. It is that simple. It takes courage to apply the thing that you said you wanted. And if you don't apply it, you're not respecting the knowledge that you're receiving. Good morning, Kiva. You're not respecting that. Listening takes time to hear and for the word to penetrate. And some of us, we don't want to take the time. Or we take the time, we hear all the things with the intent of not applying it. You do it with the intent of not applying it. You know when you finish, when you turn off that TV or when you close that book, you ain't applying nothing that you just learned. You just ain't. You just going through it because you assume that's what you need to do to appear a certain way. And that's why you will never be able to hear past your eyes. You will never be able to exercise that faith. You will never be able to go wherever you want to go, do the things you want to be able to do. You'll never be able to start a business, end a relationship, start a relationship, be a better friend, be a better wife. You will never be able to do any of those things because you're not willing to apply the thing. You're not respecting what you're hearing. Because all of that takes strength and it takes time. All right? Just because you hear words of wisdom doesn't mean that you are instantaneously transformed. You can hear the preacher all day. And I don't know why I'm using church for an example this morning. You can hear the teacher all day. Doesn't mean you're instantaneously transformed. That's why people can get saved today, be on the altar crying and screaming, Lord, he forgave me. Lord, make it right. But before you leave, you're thinking about how you're going to continue what you were doing before you even leave the church house. That's because you're not committed, number one. Number two, you're not respecting the words of wisdom that you just received. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Lakemore. We're not respecting what we hear. Because take it into account as a kid, I didn't respect how, I understood. You know what? I respected my mother, but we didn't hear our mother until we became a mother, right? That's it in application. That's listening with my eyes so she don't know nothing. But when I was able to listen with my ears and I had kids of my own, then I understood the process. But why do we have to go through the hard? Why we got to go through that before we do that? So us not listening and allowing time to actually hear the words, for the words to seep inside of you, right? And for you to seek the understanding and the knowledge of the words that you just got. Good morning, Mama. And respecting the words that you just got. Until you're ready to do that, you can go to sleep with all kind of positive motivation stuff in your ear. Okay? Because y'all know I'm a fan of a quote, a book. That's obvious. I have them all over my house. I'm a fan for all of that. But please understand what I'm telling you. Eventually, it is the application of the thing, okay? You have to be intent with this. Because if you're just listening to this, if you're just listening to the pastor, let me tell you what you will do. You will feel really good. But when that feel good is gone, you are still left with what you had. That's how some people never truly live the life that they were called to live. Because it takes intent to apply the thing. And your actions have got to be intentional. And every day that you consume information and you don't allow it to rest in you so that you can honor what you're hearing, so you can listen with something other than your eyes, so that you can practice your faith, your intent as soon as you hear it is to ignore it. That's your intent. That is very simple. Right? Healing words are close. Do you hear them? Do you seek them? And do you respect them? And the answer is no. If you have all the information, and this is what I have to tell my kids, especially when they say, oh, but Mama, I'm not smart enough. That's not true. Let me make it very simple. And y'all, I'm a nerd. And sometimes I used to say, if it's not complicated, I can't understand it. But that was just me trying to get around doing the thing. So let's just make it very simple. Okay? You heard it, you understood it, you chose not to apply it. That was your intent from the get-go. So when my kids say, Ma, I don't understand the thing, or I'm not that smart, let's break it down to the simple of simplest. Can you read? Yes or no? Yes, I can read. 95% of your battle is already won. If you're able to listen with something other than your eyes, 95% of your battle is won. Because now my intent is different. If I can read, what I need to figure out is easy. Because if I couldn't read, then I'm fighting a harder battle. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're seeking and the answer that you're looking for, Lord, make it great. And you're making it big. But your healing words are close. They're there. You can't hear them because what we said the other day, I had to make the big thing great so I wouldn't have to deal with the smallness of myself. And when we deal with the smallness of ourselves, then we realize that underneath all of that was just one thing that we needed to address. And when we address that thing, then our greatness can continue. Right, Leah? And you can still, that's how crazy continues. That's how you can have generational habits. Okay? Not generational curses, generational thought processes and generational habits. Because your mama thought that way, your daddy, your sister, and they passed those thoughts down to you because you saw them in action every day. That was them seeing with their eyes, hearing with their eyes, and not applying. And the intent was they were never going to apply it. So let's make it dirt easy. Are the answers there? Yes, they are there. They are there. Respect that the answer is there. Now change your intent with the answer that you have. What is your intent with it? Are you going to because here's my thing. What is the use of you praying for the miracle? What's the use of you praying, Lord, give me a different life, if your intent was never to actually receive the thing that you said you wanted? Why do you want to go to school and learn the thing? Come on, somebody, in the Bible, it says, why do we always learn, but we never apply the thing that we learn? So what was the purpose of learning? Yeah, I put the Bible in my own context, but that's somewhere in the New Testament. Ever learning knowledge, but we're not applying any of the knowledge. So what is the purpose? Because here's the thing, you know the intent of your prayer, you know the intent of your thought before you even speak it out loud. Because if he knows our heart, he knows our mind. Who we fooling though? who you fooling for real though? So why do all the work and the rigmarole? That's exhausting. That is exhausting. It has got to be. For my intent to be totally different from what my mouth is saying. And I know it is exhausting because I've been there and done that. Oh, but I love him. No, I don't. I didn't. No, I didn't. He would beat me upside my head. What I love him for? But here I was acting it out. You've got to respect the answer. Your healing words are here, number one. Do you hear them? Do you seek them out? And do you respect them? Listening takes time. You need time to hear and for the word to penetrate into you and for you to get understanding. Okay? That's why I say you got to have that quiet time. I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day with no TV, no phone, no book, no nothing. Sit there for 5 minutes and listen to what you have to say. You have a voice and you have something to say. You do. But you're not respecting yourself. You're not respecting your own words, but you want somebody else to respect them. Remember, we are holding people to standards that we're not even holding ourselves to. Just because you hear wisdom doesn't mean that you are instantaneously transformed. Because eventually, hearing has got to become action, right? Hearing has got to become action. So you can hear the words and you can think and believe that you are transformed. Like you can leave the atmosphere of the thing. I like church that does teaching, and I could skip all the singing. I could skip all of that, because when all of that is gone, all I'm going to be left with is me and the Lord and the word. And I need to be able to apply that, listen to it and apply it and allow it to sit in me without the song and the music and the dance. That's why people can get saved by the hundreds at church, because we have the excitement and the emotion of the moment. But when the emotion of the moment is gone away and you are left with JoJo, and it's just me, Jesus, me, myself, and we're sitting there, and the Lord looking at me and I'm looking at him, and I'm still trying to hear with my eyes, because the eyes have allowed me to see the singing, to see the dancing, and to see the crowds of people and see the people crying, but I haven't heard the wisdom yet. It hasn't sat with me yet. Does that make sense? And that's how you can leave the church house, leave the altar with the same crazy that you came in with your intent already to do the thing that you said you didn't want to do. Because the application of the thing has got to be your intent. You got to hear with something other than your eyes. So the sacred words are there. True listening is to perfect one's own virtue. Yes, Miss Lake Mo, we've got to sit and listen. And even in our prayer and our quiet time, do we talk Jesus to death? Lord have mercy. Honey, let me tell you, I know at some point he told me if I don't shut up, he was going to come down and staple my lips together. Because all I did was talk. And never was I listening. Nope. I was begging for the answer. And my healing words were close, but I wasn't choosing to listen to them. I didn't honor where they were coming from. And because I was so busy with the noise of life, it would never come. I'll give you a perfect example. Y'all know I've been married a couple of times. So one husband, getting divorced, and I'm living, and they had moved, and every Sunday, this is Confessions and Conversations for JoJo. Every Sunday, y'all, and look, I was teaching Sunday school. I taught Bible study over the women's ministry. I did it all. I did all the things, right? And I was praying, Lord, why my marriage not working? Lord, help me. Then the divorce came, and I was like, Lord Jesus, I can't get it right. And I am praying, honey, I'm falling out at the altar. We had a 30-day revival. I had them lay hands on me. I done fell out in the dirt. I done wallowed. I have done all the things. I have been baptized in the Holy Spirit, drowned, deep fried, and all the oil you can handle. I did all the things. I was still listening with my eyes. And then one day, I'm sitting on my bed, not thinking a thought, just sitting on my bed, and I picked up the Bible. And it was Isaiah. Was it Isaiah 54? Somebody get this for me, because I don't have a Bible handy. You know, the first verse said that my eyes landed on? The Lord thy God is your husband. I said, what? He said, the Lord thy God is your husband. I was like, oh. And then I kept reading. He said, you are a wife of your youth. So I hid myself from you. I was like, oh, you did? Okay, Jesus. So then I kept reading. After he said, you are a wife of your youth, and I hid myself from you. And then he said, but if you would just listen, your foundations are made of what? Rubies. That's what he said. He was like, your foundations are made of rubies. And I have set this so that if you would just take the sides off your tent, I could enlarge what you got, boo. But you so focused on what you ain't got, you ain't saying that the Lord thy God is your husband. You were a wife of your youth, so you couldn't even understand or receive whatever it was I wanted to give you. But just FYI, your foundations are made of rubies. And if you would just take the sides off your tent, boo, I got you. Then the end of the verse says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So we get caught up on the big words of the things, right? We get caught up on the tag words, and we don't go deeper to look for ourselves. We not honoring the words of wisdom. Girl, yes, like I was deep fried in the Holy Lord. Do you hear me? Because I've been married to not one preacher, but two. But when you are ready to hear with something other than your eyes, then you will see the words. I will seek them out. Then I heard them, and then I respected them. And now in the application of the thing, I understood what happened. It takes time to listen. And then you hear, and then you allow it to sit with you, okay? Just because you hear words of wisdom doesn't mean you're instantaneously transformed. Because every Sunday the preacher preached to me about all the things, living this and being. No, it wasn't until I understood the process that I was able to do the different thing. So on this wonderful Monday morning, it's going to be a great Monday morning, y'all. It's going to be great. Listening is to perfect your own virtue. When you start to listen, you will perfect your own virtue. I'm just saying. When you listen, you not only protect and perfect your own virtue. It is that of what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be. Now, once I came across that Bible verse, I was mad at God. Like, I was angry. Like, why didn't you tell me that years ago? Like, I'm over here crying, Jesus. I'm on the altar falling out. Do you not see me at the prayer altar crying, asking the pastor to lay hands on me, asking the sisters to pray for me? And the answer was simple. You never sat still to hear what I was trying to tell you. You were never still. You were, even in prayer, you were talking all the time. JoJo, you never shut up. I was like, oh. But that was because I wanted to make sure you heard me. He said, I heard you the first time. But did you receive the answer the first time? Come on, somebody. He heard you the first time, but did you receive the answer the first time? And some of us can use that as an excuse. I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord to tell me, move me. He been gave you the answer, boo. You don't want to do the work of the answer. Remember we talked about that? You got to be bold enough to ask the question, bold enough to receive the answer, bold enough to do the work of the answer, and bold enough to make room for the answer. He heard you. Period. He gave you the answer. But were you busy with the noise of life? Did you honor what you were hearing to receive the answer? Listening takes time to hear and for the word to penetrate. I don't know why we are on this topic this here day, but it is all for me, A to the men. It says the words of the wise. Thank you. There it is. Thank you, Miss Leah. Yes. Y'all see that beautiful verse? Let me click on it. I can't even click on it. That's the verse I'm talking about. That's the verse I'm talking about. And when I tell you I got my whole life, and instantaneously then, no ma'am, no theology degree here. I shall leave that to the professionals. I'm going to stay right in my lane. No ma'am. Honey, it is the application of the thing. We are listening with something other than our eyes today. I want you to listen with your ears, and then I want you to practice being quiet with what you hear. It is the application of the thing. So let's be quiet today. Receive your answer today. Don't be like me. Don't let it take you 6-7 months to receive the answer of the thing. Thank you so much, Leah, for posting that verse for me. Don't be like me. Don't be months in crying and screaming and hollering, deep fried and holy oil for you to get this. It's simple. Y'all, it's really quite simple. No, man. It's really quite simple. The answer is there, okay? The sacred healing words that you want to receive, okay? Your healing words are so close. The thing that you were seeking that would just... have you guys ever used aloe vera juice on your scalp? If you haven't, that's an experience you need. Even if you got the aloe plant in your house, peel it back and just rub it on your scalp. That is a refreshing you can't even put into words. And that is what it's like when you feel the healing words that you're seeking. It is a refreshing that you cannot explain. It is enlightened. What's the word? It's enlightened to your, like, everything that you don't even know how heavy you are until you actually receive the healing words that you need. I don't even know how to put, but using the aloe vera juice is the closest I can get because it's not cold. It's refreshing. And when you put that on your scalp is going to be like, now this is what I was looking for. It doesn't tingle. It doesn't burn. It ain't cold. It is simply refreshing. And you don't know that the healing words that you're seeking, that's what they're going to give you. And you don't, that's why, come on, Bible. You can always be thirsty for the word and never get enough. It will never feed you. You will never understand it. You'll never be able to break it down. You will never be, for it to be the meat for you. You will always have the milk of it, meaning you will always only understand the surface of it. But until you start listening to it, and let it sit, and then you're able to feel it. Now you have the refreshing of it, and it is an experience that I cannot explain. And so aloe vera is the closest thing that I can explain. Yes, thank you, Keeper. It will revitalize you in such a way that you don't understand. So the healing words that you're seeking, they are there. Let's not make this complicated, okay? I'm not about being complicated other things. Now, I can make it complicated if you want, but it's quite simple, and that's what we're here for, right? Don't listen with your eyes. Listen with your ears today. Let's make this very simple. Your answer is there. Respect that it's there. And even if you assume that it's not, seek it out with the intent of the application of it. Meaning, okay, I want the answer to this thing. And my intent is once I receive the answer of this, I'm going to apply it instantaneously. If you're seeking it only to have the knowledge of it, you will always read the word and never understand it. You will always pray and you'll feel like your prayers are never answered because you're not respecting the answer of it. You're not respecting the healing words. So on this wonderful Monday, I hope this has helped somebody. I know I've gotten my whole life together this morning. A to the man. Quote of the day. One of the most courageous decisions you'll ever make is to finally let go of what is hurting your heart and your soul. And that's by Bridget Nicole. And it goes perfectly with our thought of the day. Are you listening? Your healing words are close. The secrets of life are not hidden from you. They are not. The secrets of life are right here. They are here. Listen to them. Honor the process. Respect them. Seek them out. They're there. It is so simple, but yet we make it so complicated. It can be complicated if you want it to be. In your journey to wherever you may be wanting to go, because your destiny's not changing. Your journey to get there can go any kind of way, but if this is not changing, we simply need to know that the answer is already here, and it is the application of it. So and here's the thing, you may say, okay, JoJo, I got the answer, but I don't know what to do with it. Boo, that's when you be quiet. That's when you sit down and you listen. Didn't Miss Lakemore say you sit and listen? That's when you sit down and you be quiet and you honor the words of wisdom that you just heard. That's when you say, okay, I hear that and my intent is this. I hear it and this is my intent. Set your intention. Set your intention for the day. Boo. It didn't lie when it says life and death in the power of the tongue. What you're living right now is the result of what you thought last week, last month, last year. It is the result of what you prayed for. It is the result of what you did and did not believe. That's what's living right now. What you believed and what you didn't believe. It's right here. It's what you prayed for and what you didn't pray for. That's what's right here. So if you got the same crazy you had 15 years in a row, that's because that's what you believed that you could have. Not because that's what's true. That's because you were listening with your eyes and not your ears. And you didn't honor the healing words that were coming to you. You haven't been bold enough to ask the real question. You haven't taken to understand the power of your question because your life is keeping you distracted. Because if your life, the devil, whoever you want to associate with that, if they can keep you distracted, you never know the power of your question. And the power of your question is why. So if I have the power to open and close the door, because I'm the doorkeeper of JoJo. So if I'm the usher of this house and I'm trying to usher you into the holies of me so you can experience me. But I'm the usher. Y'all know what the usher do. Oh, no, he praying. Can't come in here. Oh, no, we taking up offering. You can't come in here. Oh, the choir is getting ready to march in. You can't come in here. So if I am the usher of me and the doorkeeper of me, I first have got to understand and listen to what it is that I need in order to be the most effective me. The sacred words are very close. Let's not make this complicated today. Do you hear them? Do you seek them? Do you respect them? And listening takes time to hear and for that hearing to penetrate you and for you to have the understanding. Just because you hear wisdom doesn't mean you are instantaneously transformed. True listening is to perfect one's own virtue. True listening is to perfect one's own virtue. You got to listen first and then apply the thing. It is the application of the thing. So on this wonderful day, you have the answer is here. Okay? Respect the healing words that you need. They are there. Let's not make it complicated. I promise when you make it simple, the things that you can accomplish throughout the day are mind-blowing. The things that what you can turn around it's insane. But you got to listen and take that time. As Miss Lakemore said, you got to sit and listen. And then you can apply. So this wonderful Monday morning, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Don't forget, I Am My Sister's Keeper t-shirts are available. So if you would like one, you can go to livepastcrazy.com and grab you. I think I have like 4 shirts left, so you can grab your shirt. I Am My Sister's Keeper. And it does have Sister Keeper in hashtag in the back, and it is in glitter. So you can grab you one. So make sure that you do that. So I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Be peaceful, period. There's nothing after this. Be peaceful, period, okay? And this has helped you. Please let me know, because, honey, I got my whole life this here day. I promise I did. It has set the tone for my day, and I'm not going to make it complicated. I heard it. I receive it, and it is my intent to apply it instantaneously, okay? Because we don't want to sit on knowledge. If you sit on it and don't apply it, you're an information hoarder, okay? So that's what we are. So I hope you have an amazing day. Please be peaceful. Please set your intent for today, okay? Set your intention for this morning. What is your intent, okay? Set it within yourself and then allow it to be still for a minute. Every morning I wake up, hey, Georgia, what kind of day you want to have? I'm going to have a great day. And then I allow that word to sit there. Are you going to have a great day? Absolutely. A to the man. A to the man is what I'm trying to tell you. So that's what we're here for today. Set your intention. Listen for those healing words. And more importantly, receive those healing words. Know the power of your question today. All right. Have an amazing day. And I will see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.